Before that, you want to introduce me? Shall I introduce myself?
No, I'll start, Rimple. 1 second. I'm just admitting there are few people in the queue who's, just give me 1 second.
No worries. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are back again with session 3 of AICI India Delhi chapter series 1.0. So, why do we do this educational series? Just to reach out more people, because AICI India chapter wants to reach out more people and share knowledge. And for that, today we have with us Miss Rimple Sharma. She's an executive coach and leadership facilitator. And I am extremely honored, Rimple, for giving time. I know you have a tiring day today, and still you are here, but we are extremely honored. A little bit about Miss Rimple. She's the founder, and I may pronounce it wrong, Rimple. You have to. This is, it's like, can you just say it?
It's Le Joie de Vivre, which means the joy of living.
Okay, La Joie de Vivre. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's the French for the joy of living. Yeah.
So she's founder of the company and she's a global achievement award winner. She is into corporate leadership training. She is top 10 corporate trainers, woman entrepreneur magazine in India. She has experience of 13 years in aviation industry. She has been a coach for 3 years, customer service experience with 3 years as a coach, worked globally in London, UAE, India. She helps organizations achieve their business goals through leadership and personality development programs. And she's a certified confidence coach and a corporate trainer. She has been trained as a trainer by Dale Carnegie. In her previous avatar, she has worked with international airlines in roles which included in flight service trainer and onboard customer service. Thank you, Rimple, for being here. From here, I would like you to take over and, thank you for being here. Over.
Absolute pleasure, Shweta. Thanks for that lovely introduction. And just to put light on why Le Joie de Vivre, the joy of living, is it is with the vision to bring a happier self, a happier part of an individual. I always believe that there's so much that keeps happening around us that we have no control over. And one thing that we have control over is our mind and the way we look. So what I do is getting people into the right mindset to achieve their goals and aligning it with how they want people to perceive them in matters of appearance and and what how they want people to see them, and getting the real self out as well. So it's all aligned and it's a holistic approach, and that is what it is. And I feel when that happens, because I have experienced it, you really enjoy life in a different way. So that was the vision, and that's what it is. So that's the reason Le Joie de Vivre. I know it's a little difficult to pronounce, but yeah, if people call it the joy of living also, that's fine. That's absolutely okay. So yeah, just to start on today, I think we all know the topic is excelling in confidence. Now, you all can write in, or I mean in the chat box, what is your understanding of confidence? What exactly do you think is confidence? In a very general way, nothing specific, but just to understand that we're all on the same page. Or if you want to just unmute and speak up, that is fine. Hi, Asha, is that you?
Sorry, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, Asha, you're audible.
Yes. It is, for me, confidence is something like you're expressing yourself.
Okay.
And it's like you're able to express yourself without any other influence, or like you're comfortable the way you are.
Right.
The way you are comfortable, being comfortable in the way you are.
Right. Shweta says belief. Okay.
Self-belief, yeah. When you believe in yourself, in your abilities, and that's how you can portray your confidence. You can come up like a confident personality.
Right. Thanks, Asha. I think that's combined. We say knowledge. Okay. Correct. So we can say, like when Shweta said, it is trusting yourself to be capable of doing a particular thing. You know you will be able to do a particular thing, and having that belief, like you said, or having that trust is what confidence is all about. So this is just to give a little idea of where we will start and what it is like. Shweta, I'm just sharing my screen. Yes, that's perfect. Just give me a second. Yeah. So what we're going to cover today is what's one only way of actually being confident, which is not so easy, and there's a lot more to it. And to see what is a lot more in that thing is we're going to cover a little bit about self-esteem and how self-esteem and confidence are interrelated. What is pseudo self-esteem? Covering 6 pillars of self-esteem, and the last would be handling guilt, and of course later questions from your side. So well, if you think what is that one thing that we feel we can be, how is it that we can feel confident about ourselves? What is it that we need to do to feel confident about ourselves? For example, if you have to do a particular task and you at the moment are not feeling confident, what do you think you need to do, or one thing that you need to do to gain that confidence?
We have to work on ourselves.
Right. Okay. So work on ourselves with that. Can we say take action towards doing it and trying how it is, giving it a try? Because unless we really try it and unless we're really there, we're not going to feel confident about it. I'll give you an example. So if we talk about public speaking, the biggest fear, the most common fear that people have, facing a large audience, or the fear of being judged, or going to parties, or going to formal social events and various things. The only time you can actually feel confident about yourself is when you've really gone over there once or have spoken, though you practice a lot, though you have, you've got to get the knowledge. Someone said confidence is knowledge. You need to have the knowledge of what you're going to share. All that is there. But still, when you are on that stage in front of 5,000 people, you still get nervous, you still get shivers, right? We all have that. Almost all our clients also say that, it's so difficult. So really the only way to do it is genuinely go there and try it for the first time. We will fail, we will make mistakes. I don't use the word fail. Usually always say that we will learn. It's not really failing, because every time you're going wrong, you're learning. So you're going to be a little more confident the next time, at least with that bit, that you've learned, what not to do now. So very easy to say, take action, but again, there's a lot that goes. Now, to understand it psychologically, slightly, it all gets down to your self-esteem, about how you think about yourself, right? As image consultants, most of us, we are image consultants here. We always say that, dressing up well, we feel good about ourselves that day. So what is it? We are high on our self-esteem. We feel good about ourselves. That is just the outer part of it. But what happens internally is, as we grow, we obviously, as humans, we do make mistakes. And every time we make mistakes, we end up judging ourselves. We always blame ourselves. That, why did I do this? Or no, I've done something wrong. Maybe today, of course, none of you all know what I have done in my past life, but I do know that. And in my mind, I have kind of framed my image in my mind, subconsciously, maybe, it's always there. And that is what self-esteem is. So it is how I feel about myself, whether I will be able to cope up with with daily challenges in life, or whether I am not going to be able to cope up. So really, self-esteem, if you want to put it, is the confidence in our ability to cope with basic life challenges. Again, a person cannot always have high self-esteem throughout their life. Different challenges, different things, self-esteem drops every time you, again, go wrong somewhere. You kind of criticize yourself subconsciously also, even if you try not to, but you somewhere subconsciously have, blamed yourself and said, no, this is wrong, even if you are working on it, but still. So that is how self-esteem is. It's very difficult to control, of course. And that is what we are going to work, or we are going to cover today, because that is the mental state what I'm going to cover to feel confident about yourself. How can we try and manage to keep our self-esteem at a certain level where we have the right mind to feel confident about ourselves, right? uh, Again, other ways which I wouldn't be covering is, like we said, feeling good about ourselves, having the right knowledge about a particular thing, having the technical skills, practicing, all that is there, of course. But this is slightly different, which is going to be self-esteem. Now, a simple, direct way, which I think we all have done when we are feeling low. We all, literally, especially women, we just go out there and we end up shopping, right? We feel good about it. Now, that is an external factor that we create for ourselves to increase, to feel good about ourselves, to have a higher self-esteem, which is actually pseudo self-esteem, which means it's a fake self-esteem that we are trying to create for ourselves, or we're going to, it's a fake thing that we are doing just so that we feel a little high on self-esteem. That is what it is. But self-esteem really, in long term, that doesn't last. Probably in the next 2 days, again, you're going to be feeling low for whatever reason it is, but it's going to come back, right? So the ultimate source of self-esteem is and can only be internal in what we do and not what others do, or not what we create in a fake way. So again, how you think about yourself in the mind is what it is. So just dressing up well and feeling good, or going shopping and feeling good, is not what will help you long term. What we're going to discuss is something that we can work and try to help ourselves have a high level of self-esteem. 6 pillars of self-esteem is what we're going to discuss here. First is practice of living consciously. Now, with this, let me ask this question. How many of us actually feel that if, or let's put it this way. Suppose, for example, I have been, I've put on a lot of weight during the whole lockdown, and I know I have to lose weight. I know I have to eat healthy. I know I have to have a right diet. But how often am I really doing that, right? So am I really living consciously? Because I'm in love with biryanis. I probably had biryanis last night. I had 2-3 glasses of wine as well. It's not helping me in losing weight, though I know I have to lose weight. Now, the practice of living consciously actually just means being there in that moment, understanding your goals, aligning your actions with those goals, right? So tell me one thing, or you could write it in chats, or if you just want to give it a thought right now and not share, if it's very personal, that's fine. But tell me one thing that you could probably do if you think, if you had higher level of living consciously, what would that one thing be in your work or in your relationships or in your life? What would that one thing be that you would do to make sure that, maybe it's something that you've been wanting to do since long, but haven't, and you're kind of like the example that I gave for diet. So could be work, could be relationships, or could be generally in life. What is that one thing that you need to do to really live consciously? If anyone wants to share it, otherwise.
Okay. Padmini is saying being real. Shweta is saying constancy.
Okay, right, correct. We could be a little more specific, maybe.
Okay. Christina is saying being mindful of our daily actions and
Right.
understanding the emotions.
Absolutely, yes, yes. So literally living in that present, being mindful of every single thing that we are doing. That is practice living consciously. That is one of the ways we would have high self-esteem. The next is practice of self-responsibility. Now, this is it's the way to put it straight, you are the only one who's responsible for your happiness. There's nobody else. Depending on other people or having, hi, Neeta.
Hi, Rimple.
I
Just wanted to
saw your
say
hand. I'm so sorry. Yes, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I couldn't miss this for the world, so I thought I'll just say
Thank you.
to live consciously. To
Yes,
live consciously would be doing the right thing,
right.
even if no one is looking.
Correct.
Having integrity. Yeah.
Correct. That is something that I would be coming. That is, I think, the fourth or the fifth practice that I would be talking about.
All right. I'm so happy to be here, Rimple.
Thank
Carry
you
on.
so much for joining, and thanks a lot for joining.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
So,
Bye.
thanks. So yes, coming back to practice of self-responsibility is that you are the only one responsible for your happiness, and no one else can do that. Now, let me give you an example. I have been brought up in a very pampered way all my life by my parents. And somewhere down the line, I was always dependent on my emotions, on my on my happiness with the pampering that they gave me all my life. And that is how I thought the way of living is. Now, when I got married, I expected a lot. I really did expect a lot coming from my husband and things, I thought it would just continue and that is how it is. Reality check, well, nothing of that sort. And I felt horrible. I felt, that this is it. The one person who could make me happy, I've lost everything in my life, and that's not how it is, or that's not how it should be. Eventually, over years after my divorce, I realized that, it's literally me who can make myself happy. And I'm responsible for my actions. If I'm doing wrong, I cannot blame somebody else. I have done something wrong. It's me. If I have done something right, it is me again. It's literally just me. And that is what it is, the practice of self-responsibility. One of the characteristics of immaturity is that belief that someone else's job to make me happy. That is what I would say is we call immature now. It's if I see that happening somewhere, I would just say, okay, this person is slightly immature here because you're not taking responsibility for your actions. So yeah, the next is practice of self-assertiveness. Now, this is all about honoring your wants. It is not being fake just to be accepted by somebody else or a particular group or a part of, just say, wo haan mein haan milana jo bolte, just to be accepted in a particular group. You have your own values. You have things that you believe in. And that is what you need to stick to. That is self-assertiveness, that come what may, this is what I believe in, and this is what it is. You don't need to be fake or put up a fake self or a mask that we say, just to be accepted or to earn something out of it. At the end of it, if this really happens for long, at the end of it, you just feel low about yourself because you're really living a fake world. You're living, so many times we come across so many people and we end up realizing, oh, he's fake, right? So it eventually, the real self really comes out, and in the long run, it doesn't feel good to yourself, nor will anyone accept you for long that way because you're not being yourself. So when we say self-assertiveness, it's about honoring your beliefs and your values and sticking to it come what may, and just not, having a fake side or a mask to it. That is what it is. The next is practice of living purposefully. That is basically having a purpose in life. I would say having the right goals. I think we all have goals. And when I say goals, when I talk about daily goals, I don't mean a to-do list here. I mean, even a short-term goal, even if you have I have my journal, like every night I have this practice of journaling, and every night I write down things that I want to achieve probably in the next 2 days or 3 days. That's the short-term goal. And then I have my to-do list. Now a to-do list could be anything, which is, okay, I need to maybe finish a few pending things or spend time with my daughter or things like that. But my final goal in the next 3 days could be, giving a balance or getting a balance into my personal life, my work life, setting a balance. Now that is a goal. So when we say short-term goals, a lot of people think, it becomes a to-do list when they share their goals. But it's definitely not a to-do list. It is all about what you want to achieve, not what you want to do, but what you want to achieve is what I would say. So to live without purpose is to live at the mercy of chance and the chance event, the chance phone call and chance encounters. We have no standard by which to judge what is and is not worth doing. That's again the thing. Now, practice of personal integrity, as Neeta said, your ideas, your thoughts, everything have to be aligned with your beliefs, your values. They have to match. I think Neha, Shweta over here, we've had a recent experience while working together just 2 or 3 months back, where there was something which was going against our integrity. And whatever it was, they know about it, of course, but it was going against my beliefs, my thoughts, and I couldn't take action. I couldn't go ahead with that because it was against my beliefs and my values. And though I did probably lose out on something, on an opportunity maybe, but at the end of it, I felt good. Now that is what I'm talking about. That is what self-esteem is, where, sorry, Neha. Shweta, can you mute everyone? I think someone's mic has gone off. Yeah, thanks. So that is what I would say self-esteem is, that even though I lost an opportunity, but at the end of it, I felt good because my actions were aligned with my beliefs and my values. So even though an external thing couldn't come to me, but at the end of it, I felt good about myself. That is what self-esteem really is, like I was talking about in the beginning. Now, the last one is handling guilt. Now, as I say that we all make mistakes. We are humans, and that's natural. It's absolutely okay to make mistakes. Sometimes without giving a thought, the simplest example that I can give is we end up lying at times without really giving it much thought. And then we feel guilty about it. That even if it's the smallest thing, there are times when I feel guilty when I lie to my daughter about something, that if I'm not in a mood to take her out or something, I just say, oh, you know what, I have work and there's nothing much really, but it's just something that I'm just not in a mood or lazy or something of that sort. So that makes me feel guilty as well. It's a small thing, but that makes me feel guilty as well because I've lied to her. And now the only way to really handle guilt, which I would say is also a very important parameter, which adds on to your self-esteem, because you're guilty, you're feeling low about yourself, right? So the only way to handle guilt here is own the fact that, yes, you were wrong. You did something wrong, accept it. The next one is why we did it and what we did. Know exactly why, what was the reason. Of course, the example that I gave was a very small one. We are talking about something way broader in life. You need to understand that why did you go wrong? Was it just something that you didn't give thought to, or was it you wanted to hide something about yourself, or what was it? You need to give that thought to what was it exactly and what you did. The third one, acknowledge it. Of course, you need to acknowledge, like I said, that yes, you did something wrong, and like we discussed earlier, you are responsible for it and nobody else. So blaming over here doesn't help. It's literally just you. We take any and all actions available that might make amends for or minimize the harm we have done. Go ahead. In my case, the daughter's example that I gave, I just go to her and probably just say, sorry, hey, listen, I was really tired and let me take you out tomorrow. And it just gives me a relief. Of course, again, a very small example that I'm giving here just to keep it simple. But in larger pictures, it's absolutely okay to go ahead and speak to the person or amend things or amend your actions or change things just and do it in the right manner. It's absolutely all right. It's okay to go to your boss or somebody and just accept it instead of, living that way and keep blaming somebody, or maybe even if you're not blaming someone, but just living with that guilt. You need to let off that guilt. The last, we firmly commit ourselves to behaving differently in the future. Of course, now that you've learned a lesson, you know you've been responsible, you know it not go right, and whatever. Now, the next time you're not going to do it. So that's handling guilt. This was what it is, a little cover of a little bit on how to handle your self-esteem, just a little idea. Any questions, anything that you would want to share, give examples of how you have come across something. Usually I keep this really interactive and I keep asking everyone to share, but I don't want to make it chaotic here. Anyone who would want to speak up now and give examples of something that didn't work out right, or one of the pillars of self-esteem that they have experienced and want to share their experience here.
Hello.
Hi.
ये ना बड़ी डिफिकल्ट लड़की है ऑफिस में, इसको कुछ भी गलत भेजना is like pointing out to everyone.
Priyaneet, I think.
Hi, I'm sorry, who is this?
I think Priyaneet had a call, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Rimple, I will share something.
Yes, Shweta, please.
You said about goals, right? That
Yes.
If it's like 2 days goal or 3 day, we set some goals for us.
Right.
Initially, when I was not a trainer, obviously, in our life, we usually make goals. So I had always in my mind that goals are something, like you said, to-do list.
Right.
And you said it right, that end goals are all, we call that end goals that we want to achieve. So end goals should be always like, you want to be happier, you want to travel the world, or you want to, So basically what you're doing is you are working on achieving that goal. That's what I feel.
Right. Right.
I set my goals. So eventually those are your end goals. And what you are doing, your actions are the means to achieve that goal,
Right. Right.
But people get confused with those means. They are the goals, basically, actions,
Right. Also, to add on, Shweta, if you're talking about, I want to be happier, it would be easier for you to achieve it if you could define your happiness and set a more defined goal. Yes, exactly. What do you mean when you say, like, this is what I ask my clients when they come to me and say that, I'm just not happy in life.
Yeah.
The first thing is, okay, I'm not going to talk about what's not the unhappy part, but my focus is on what would make you happy. Talk about that. What is it that you're looking at that would make you happy? Let's imagine that, so that I come to a clear picture and get clarity of what my client is looking for. And maybe even they don't know. Most of them, they are unaware of what it is. Maybe there are times when they think it is something else, but the true happiness is something else, literally. So I always say, give it a thought. We all want to be happy. We all want to earn money. We all want to be successful. The standard 3 goals that, everyone has, literally. But let's give it a thought and let's define it a little more as to what does success mean to you, or what does happiness mean to you. And, there are times when there are conclusions that even, sometimes they already have it and they never acknowledged it, so it's just suddenly they just feel happy, because they know that they have it now. So yeah, that is what it is. So always set defined goals than just, having a little vague ideas. So, and then it's easier to have a to-do list, or easier to put your actions in place to achieve that.
Better to narrow it down,
Right. Absolutely. Thanks, Shweta. Anyone else?
Hi, Rimple.
Yes. I think, Neeta, you're on mute. Sorry.
Yeah, I just unmute myself, Rimple.
Yes.
Rimple, I thought I'd share what really works for me is to live in the present moments, because what I have learned through life is that most of the time we're either living in the past.
Right.
Oh, I should not have that. I should not have said that. Why did I do that? Could I go back there? Or we're living in the future. What if this happens? What if that happens?
Right.
And both the areas, the past and the future, is an illusion, because it's not real. It's only in our, it's only there in our mind's eye. It's only in memory. The only thing real we have is this present moment that I'm speaking to you and you're speaking to me, and everything is real.
Right.
Everything else is in the mind. So just coming to grips with that is just forget about the past. It's history.
Exactly.
Forget about
True.
it's history. All we have is the present moment, and that's why it's called the present, because it's a gift from God.
Gift from God, and make the most of it. That's exactly very well said, Neeta. Absolutely. And they always say, when you're thinking of the future, the human mind is such that we always live in fear. Going back to the past, of when we used to hunt, we always used to fear the animals, and going back to like really, really old days. And that is where subconsciously the fear is always there in humans, in the human mind. So when you're really thinking of the future, you always end up thinking or get a little fearful about it, or think in the negative side. So you're literally, going in the wrong track. That's very well said, Neeta. So live in the present, make the most of it. And that again adds on to your confidence, because you're giving your 100% to this present moment. So it again adds on to a little bit of your confidence, where you're not thinking about a lot of things, where what people are thinking about me, or am I saying this right, or am I doing this right? And your focus is in that present moment. Really, I'm sure that works well.
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Rimple.
Most welcome, Neeta. Anyone else? We still have time. Thought there would be a lot of questions. Okay, let's take it this way. Anything that you find difficult overcoming? Hi, Padmini. Yes.
Yeah, hi. First of all, thank you so much, Rimple, for the wonderful session. I would like to ask you one question, because I have recently gone through a very much down phase of my life, and sometimes it happens due to such ups and downs in life. You lose your confidence. Though previously in my previous venture in life, I was quite confident. But due to some ups and downs, right now, I'm not having that faith and maybe confident enough to face a few things. So what do you think, how you can come up and you just forgive yourself for not being perfect all the time? So can you just give some opinions on it, or else some suggestions which can help me out to come out of that kind of stuff?
Sure, Padmini. Sorry, I'm echoing. Padmini, could you just mute it?
Sorry?
I'm echoing. My voice is echoing. If everyone could just mute their... Yes, sorry. Yes, Padmini, so what you just shared is, like I was talking to you, that before you reach confidence, you need to have a high self-esteem about what you think about yourself, right? Now, I won't be able to help you overcome it without knowing the real problem, of course. But what I can tell you right now is I want you to dig into your own thoughts, give yourself time, think over what you have learned out of your past experience. And like I said, things happen, a lot of things happen, and that hampers your self-esteem. You really put yourself low and down. But understand one thing, we all are capable of achieving a lot. Now, the person, I don't know what it is. Now, when you speak to me, I see you as a confident person, the way you put up the question. I see you, the way you're smiling, I see you absolutely pleasant, right? So I have no idea what has gone into your past life. I have absolutely no idea. The reason you feel that way is because of, that I don't know it. Take advantage of that. Plus, you have learned something out of your past experience. We all have had bad days, and we've all learned something out of it. Focus on what you've learned. Focus on what you want to take away from them with you along in your future, to not repeat it again. When it comes to forgiving yourself, we all make mistakes. It's absolutely all right. You don't want to torture yourself. You've got a beautiful world ahead. You've got a beautiful life ahead. Make the most of it, and just give in your best. Like even Neeta said, live in the present, forget the past. Just only thing that you need to take from the past is your learning. That's it. That's something that I always say.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Padmini, I honestly see you. Don't we all see her as a lovely, pleasant, full of confidence? So there's nothing. Just stop feeling so low about yourself. It's absolutely natural and okay to. Yeah. So of course, if you want to talk to me, you can call me up anytime and we can discuss. If you're okay to share things in person, in personal, and talk to me about what exactly did you go through, I could help you get clarity over there. But as of now, I can just say this.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Padmini. Anyone else? Any somebody who's facing something. Sandhya, you have your hands up.
Yeah, this is to
Hi.
Padmini. I wanted to, yeah, hi, hi, Rimple. So I just wanted to, tell something to Padmini. In case, hi, Padmini.
Oh,
Yeah,
hi.
hi.
I
I just want to share my experiences. Sometimes we happen to have, not only we, everyone, lows and ups in the life. So when it happens to me, I always think people who lived 100 years back, I don't see them, or 200 years back or 500 years back, who were kings and who had got so much of things, but they're not existing now. I only feel that life is very short. Can you hear me all?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Sandhya, you're
Yes,
audible.
yeah, sorry. So when I'm in that phase, I always think about the people who are not existing, and I feel that whatever they had, in case if they have precious things also, they don't exist now. And people who have done something, wrong to themselves, or did something which they're not supposed to do, but even those people are not existing. That means life is very short. So I feel that, I have to come out of it, and I have to do what I wanted to do, because nothing is permanent. This is what I think. So this is my experience. I'm just sharing with you. So you should also think like this,
No,
this will
thank
really will help us.
Yeah, of course, of course. Actually, it's as you shared this thing, I would like to tell you the ups and downs was like I lost 3 people from the Corona time, and
Mm.
including my father. I tried my level best to save all of them, but I could not. As my seniors know this in the group, Shweta and Anita, of course, they are aware about it, and they were so helpful. And talking to them already helped me a lot, because they took me to this group and they were quite helpful for this. But today, after hearing you, I felt that no doubt, because you don't know that I am going through such a phase. But then too, you could
Yes.
see me as a confident person, but that
Absolutely.
inside me that still feels that I am not the right, like real me, real myself is still missing. After feeling that I have failed in achieving my goal, sometimes that hampers a lot. That you have targeted something to do and you could not nail that. So I have, maybe that is the reason. And as you said in the presentation, you have to come out of the guilt that okay, it happened, so you have to forgive yourself. So maybe that is the one of the thing I'm supposed to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks, Sandhya, for the insight. And Padmini, I would love to have a chat with you. You could take my number, of course, from the group or wherever. I would love to have a chat with you on this, really. Most welcome.
Thank you.
Sandhya, and that was a wonderful insight, like you said.
Yeah, because there could be something, big thing waiting for us, or maybe, we are happen to be here to, save 100 people more further. So, life is all adventures, and nothing is permanent, I feel, and this is very short. So we have to go out of it, and we have to do our best.
Right.
And we all are confident. That's why we are on this platform, I feel.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Cheers to all of you.
Sure. Thanks to bring in that positivity, Sandhya. And yeah, time heals. Literally, time heals
Yes.
everything. And
Yes.
it's always a better tomorrow. And life is beautiful. Trust me, it
Yes.
is. It is. It always is.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that. Anyone else?
Dimple, I have a question, not for me, but I feel, maybe you can elaborate on that so that
Sure,
it
sure.
can benefit everyone. One, like you said about when we have to do something, we are nervous, right? We feel whether I'll be able to do or not, or for some reason we are not doing it, right? And you said we should take action for that.
Right, right.
Because how will you do it, like public speaking, right? Once you
Yes.
try it, you're more confident. But I feel along with that, if we think about our past small successes, little bit, and that gives you a boost. Just your thought on that, so that everybody in the group may can get your insight on what is my thought. And I think Christina also feels the same.
Yes.
So yeah. So if you can elaborate on that a little.
Absolutely, Shweta. Always say anything that you achieve, even if it's the smallest thing. For me, I celebrate anything and everything. Anyone who's following me on Instagram and my stories, I'm literally celebrating everything with a glass of champagne every evening. So anything that's good, I celebrate, because that's the only way you can focus the positive more than the negative, right? Because if you don't celebrate what you've achieved, even if it's the smallest thing, like I said, the human mind it kind of always moves towards the negative track very, very often. It's very, very difficult to control that. And especially now in these times, which we've almost overcome, but well, it's still not there. But yeah, so focus on the positive, see what you've achieved, celebrate it. Even if it's the smallest thing, celebrate it. That is what it is. And yeah, all your past achievements, give that a thought. It just makes you feel so good. Even if it's a small thing, even if it's the smallest step, it is something that you've achieved on your own and done it on your own. It kind of gives you that boost to at least take action, right? To go there and take action to try something new, because your history says that you have achieved. So yeah, why not?
I think we forget about that we have achieved.
Right, because we don't focus on it. We just say, oh, well, yeah, okay, it was a great day. The max that we say is, oh, it was a lovely day, and that's it. I always say, always when you're really raising a toast, or if you're having a drink or whatever, even if you're having a piece of cake or whatever, the way you're celebrating it, always have that thought in the mind that today you did this particular thing, right? And that is how you focus on the positive. It's not just that, oh yes, it was a wonderful day, to bring in a little more focus, you celebrate it in whatever way. For me, it's cake and champagne, clearly visible with all the weight I put on. And that's exactly how I see that. I have achieved too much, I've celebrated too much, and that's the reason the weight is just going and going and going in the wrong direction. So yeah.
Share one experience here, Rimple.
Yes, Shweta.
One, I hope, because experiences you can always take away from others' experience. Like you said, like I said, we forget about the small things that we have achieved, that we have done in life, right? So yesterday there was something that I had to give interview for something, for the empanelment, and then they asked me that what have you done, and when I started speaking, and after that I realized, oh God, I've done so much, and somewhere I forgot, because you are in your routine, and then you don't know that, oh, I've done that. So after that, those 2 hours, I was like, oh God, I've done so much in life, these 3-4 years is like, so I think remembering of what you have done, giving yourself that time is very important, because with time passing, we need that boost, that self-boosting, we need that, right?
Right.
So that's how it helps in your own confidence.
Right.
That's my experience, yesterday's experience. So, so it's like, okay, I'll share that.
Another thing, Shweta, that we all can do, and what I have been following in the past 1 year is so in the beginning of the day, I make my goals and to-do list or whatever it is, or maybe in the beginning of the week. And end of the week or end of the day, I'm quite impatient, so I really want to fill it in the same day. At the end of the day, I write everything that I have felt good about myself. Could be, achieving anything. When I say achieve, it doesn't only mean professionally, but anything else that, whatever my focus is on or my goals are. So I write every single thing. So days when I want that little motivation, little boost in doing something which, where the fear is setting in, I read all of that, and that brings back everything. For you had to, go through this, the whole interview thing, and that is when everything came in, right? So imagine just probably reading it before giving that interview, you probably would be like a little more, over the top to.
No, because that was quite prompt. I missed their email, and
Right.
you have to join now. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this is something that I always do just before something big that I have to do again. Just go through, things that I have done, which have made me feel good at the end of the day. That's a brilliant way again. Yes. Anyone else? Any questions? Any experiences? You still have, I think, 10 minutes, Shweta?
Yes, we have. Anyone wants to share their own experience? No. Neeta, she's raised her hand.
Oh, yes, Neeta. I think, Neeta, you're on mute again.
I'm so sorry, a silly problem, just jet lag.
I know, I can see you in London.
Yeah.
But I couldn't miss this, right? So I kept the
Right.
time and I kept the alarm.
Thank you.
Anyway, what really helps, what I could also say is that for a lot of the time and during the days, we are always focused on what's happening outside of us, what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we speak.
Right.
And very rarely do we ever go within us to know what we really want as human beings. You see, we are always focused on how we should be, what we should say, how we should look. So a very good way to actually build confidence and to actually have high self-esteem is to find a little time every day for yourself, me time, when you actually just sit and just go within, close your eyes and just do a little visualization as to what do I want, you know? What is it that I am looking for? What is it, not what the world expects of me? That's something that's different. But what is it that I want to do in life? What is my purpose in life? Why am I here? You know, what do I need to achieve? What are my goals? Not what the expectation of my goal is. So if we can find that me time every day, even if it's 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening before going to sleep, like you write down, you journal. But if you just spend time with yourself in your mind, it programs your mind. It reprograms your mind to think positively for yourself. And that gives yourself a boost. When you wake up in the morning the next day, you're so focused with what you want. So you can go out and meet the people and with the positivity, with confidence, with self-esteem, you know, because you have to go within to come without.
Absolutely.
So that's a very, that's helped me in life.
Keeps you rooted to being your real self as well and not get influenced by the outside world, because
absolutely
we are always comparing somewhere deep down. We always, you know, if someone's doing anything, you know, yesterday, in fact, on this thought, since we have another 5-7 minutes, someone just sent me a post of jealousy. And what jealousy really is, you know, we say, oh, this person is jealous of, say, A is jealous of B, but are they really jealous of the person, or is it they're jealous of what they have, which what B has and what A really wanted to have? You know, it is that it is not about the person really. It is what you know, what they have. They are jealous of because they want the same thing, and that is what jealousy is. It is nothing to do with the person really. And instead of being jealous, you rather change and focus on being inspired by that person, that if he could have it, so can I. You know, instead of putting that person down, being jealous, you rather be inspired and learn, or or you know, I always say, if I have seen someone achieve something, I always feel that when I can do it, what makes me any less than that person? That why can't I do it? Of course I can do it. I just need to kind of refocus and, you know, that is what it is. I just need to align everything to that now. That is what it is. So jealousy really is it's something, again, that you have to have control over the mind. For me, when I see somebody doing good, there's absolutely no jealousy today. Of course, worked for years that, you know, with being jealous in my college days, of course, I've been jealous of a lot of people. But today, being a little more mature, I rather get inspired by people. That is what it is.
Yeah. And another thing, Rimple, if the way I look at jealousy as well is that if you spot somebody else being jealous of you, the very fact that you can spot it, it means you have it in you. So everything we see in somebody else, it comes from knowing that it's already within me. So before we can point of it, you know, like I always look at this as my thing in life is whenever I think somebody, oh, that person is so irritating. And then I look at it in myself, okay, who's irritating here? Who's irritating you? Who's irritating you? You're irritating yourself. So it's a learning to know that whatever I spot in somebody else has originated from me. So it helps you grow as a human being. It helps you grow in your own confidence, because you're not looking for faults in others, because whatever you see in others is actually within.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's everything comes down to you, yourself, and your mind. That is what it is. It's not about the others. It's not about the external world. It's not about anything else. It's literally just you and everything about yourself. And like I was saying, confidence about the knowledge, probably even if I don't have knowledge, if I know I can do it, I probably will still nail it, in some way or the other. I'll work around it eventually because I know I can do it. I believe in myself. So even if I don't have the right knowledge, I still feel that you can do it. And that's the reason we all are here, because somewhere deep down we do believe that technical skills is not as important as the soft skills. I'm not saying it's not important. Of course you need to do it, but with technical skills you all can grow to this level. But someone who is brilliant with these things that we're discussing is going to be a step higher. That is what sets you apart. And I think that's something that we all know clearly, choosing this profession. So yeah. Thanks, Neeta. Thanks for that.
Pleasure.
So Shweta, if there's anything in the chat, if you could read that before we end the session today.
I'll just take a
sharing
second,
my screen.
Rimple.
Hi, Neha. Good to see you.
First of
You
all,
in
thank
Goa?
you. I'm just around. So first of all, thank you very much for this amazing session. Although I wasn't on unmute and my video was off, but I have been listening to the entire session. So amazing. And there were so many points that were discussed, which I think somewhere or the other we all can resonate with.
Yes.
And confidence is something that is not just required one day. I think it's an everyday requirement. So we need to constantly be working on our confidence related issues.
Right.
I just like to add on to what Neeta just was talking about, that feel good and look into the positive side. I definitely feel when you repeat things, and also you added on wherein, it changed the being jealousy into being envious and looking it into in a positive way. I feel, the more you think positive, the more you give it out in a positive way instead of feeling bad, eventually it comes back. So what goes around comes around to you in a positive way. When you start getting affected by little things, then there is everything around you. Even maybe your own hair, your eyes can also affect you. It's as simple as that. But when you start being not affected by things which are not really meant for you, ignoring is the best way, not paying too much importance. And when coming back to confidence, I definitely feel you need to practice. So practice is something which can really do wonders. And I think we all, being in this profession, we can vouch for this, that practice is something. So start practicing confidence in front of your mirror, alone, wherever, during your me time, as Neeta said here. You can practice confidence. You can visualize the situations where you're actually being uncomfortable in your usual life. There are certain occasions where we tend to be uncomfortable, we tend to feel underconfident. So need to practice on those scenarios, imagine them, and then maybe you could just feel good in the real time. So that's it from my side, Rimple. Thank you very much on behalf of AICI
Thank you, Neha.
chapter.
Thanks for the
And over to you, Monica. I believe there's something lined up, so over to you, Monica. Thank you.
Thanks, Neha.
Thank you for sharing all the knowledge you have today, Rimple, which we will never forget. Confidence is something which it is the most beautiful thing we can possess. And it is magical. We all know that. We truly appreciate your time and you. Thank you very much for the session. And it was really, really appreciate. We all appreciate for that. We enjoyed every minute of it, as well as your sense of humor as well. And as you are certified confident coach, so we are looking forward to have more sessions like so much.
It would be my pleasure, Monica. Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. And thanks for getting this time out at this odd hour as well at the end of the day. I know, but well, the weekend is here. So look forward to it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
I would request everyone, if everyone can just turn on the cameras, we can just take a picture.
Sure.
Asha, Nilima, I don't know how much people are comfortable to put you. My Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot,
much.
Shweta.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
attending.
you,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Rimple.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Thanks.
There's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece. I pray, I pray. That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need